All right. That was Seventh Element, courtesy of Crazy Guy, whose name I don't know. Courtesy of Crazy Guy, whose name I don't know. Just have to get rid of Twitch there, and then we won't have the feedback. All right, so welcome to the Bull Baseball League live stream of our game tonight, which will be the Nevada Speeders at the Chicago Pitbulls. Nevada is going to put up Troy Catley as their pitcher tonight, 4-2 with a 4.50 ERA so far this season. Brett Gilbert will be on the bump for Chicago, 3-9 with a 4.91 ERA. The other games in action tonight, as we kick off the four games, home and home of Interleague series. Norfolk Sharks are at the Montreal Metros. The Calgary Inferno were playing the Ohio Oxen in a rematch of the 2016 Bull Cup. Seattle Salts are at Minneapolis Ravens, and the Arizona Cowboys will be at the Detroit Motorheads. In the other side of the league, the Rimouski Fighting Moose are visiting the St. Pete's Admirals. The Toronto Nomads will visit the Miami Storm. Boston Brawlers on a bit of a slide this season. They're coming into Denver to play the Danger, and the New York Dragons will face off with the Dallas Deputies. The final match today, Louisville Sluggers at California Titles. And here's your lineup for the Nevada Speeders tonight. The Speeders will put in Glenn Bedard, the first baseman, at first slot on the lineup, followed by Hugo Gonzalez, the center fielder, batting .354 on the road, and 6 for 19 against Brett Gilbert. Chitoji Yamada, the left fielder, batting third. DH Jim Leahy just picked up in that big trade with California just a couple weeks ago. He'll bat in the cleanup spot. Chris Huber, the right fielder, batting fifth. Jose Torres won Player of the Week last week, the third baseman, batting sixth. Ron Osborne, the catcher, batting seventh. Mickey Pepin, the second baseman, batting eighth. And Dave Lopez, the shortstop, batting ninth. For the Chicago Pitbulls, they'll put up Weston Pete, the center fielder, to lead things off. John Guillot, the right fielder, batting second. Mike Strang backing him up, left fielder, batting third. David Herbst, the third baseman, having a fantastic rookie year, and he'll bat in the cleanup spot. Jorge Soto, the DH, batting fifth. George Hubbard, the second baseman, batting sixth. Guadalupe Gill, the catcher, batting seventh, struggling this year with a 146 average. Carlos Lovato batting eighth, the first baseman, and Jason McGeehan, the shortstop, for the Pitbulls, batting ninth. Pitbulls have had a rough ride so far this season. Definitely, they've had better years. 2-4 so far at home for Brett Gilbert, and Troy Catley has been undefeated on the road, so it'll be an interesting matchup. Of course, this is the first of four in the home and home series, and it'll be interesting. Attendance today here in Chicago, 16,758. It's cloudy, 65 degrees, with the wind blowing right to left at 12 miles per hour. Take a quick look at the team stats for these two teams. Nevada Speeders team record 32-20. They have the best record in the Bull League currently. Chicago Pitbulls 17-35. They are in 5th place in the Lake League West Division, 8th place in the wild card. They are effectively, but maybe not mathematically, but effectively out of the running, although they've had a little bit of a surprising bump in July. They're 5-4 so far this month, and looking to fight back into some semblance of, if not a wild card that's probably out of reach, but at least a respectable finish ahead of Louisville. The Nevada Speeders 6-3 so far in July, and on top of the American Eagle League in batting and runs scored. certainly not home runs. That would be the Calgary Inferno. And their pitching is also keeping it together as well. All right, let's get this game rolling. AI managers for both. Yes, all right, good. Tonight's game will be at Pitbulls Park. Now we don't have the 3D for Pitbulls Park, so you're going to get the generic 3D. That's the way the cookie crumbles. And as the home team, the Chicago Pitbulls are taking the field first, and Brett Gilbert, the right-handed pitcher, in action there. And I can see some, let's see if we can get a better view here. Got some people off the screen there. Have to fix that in another incarnation of this. The webcast view might be a little bit better, but you know what? We'll stick with the 3D view for now. You guys get the gist of it. All right, so let's get this game underway. Top of the first. Wind's blowing right to left at 12 miles an hour. Brett Gilbert on the mound for the Pitbulls, and the 2-2 pitch, fastball in the inside corner for strike 3 on Glenn Bedard. That'll bring up Hugo Gonzalez. He goes out on the 1-2 curveball. 40 strikeouts for Hugo Gonzalez this season. Strikeout number 2 for Brett Gilbert today's game. Chitoji Yamada, 5th in the AEL in home runs, and he'll take a soft roller to second, and that'll be the 4-3 ground out. Chitoji Yamada. 3 up, 3 down for Nevada Speeders. That'll bring up the home team, Chicago Pitbulls. Troy Catley on the bump. And, of course, we're having the player picture error again, but we'll just have to play through that one. Weston Pete, the leadoff hitter for Chicago.
Strike 3, you're out.
The 2-2 pitch, and that's strike 3 to Weston Pete. Troy Catley rings up 46 strikeouts this season. Right fielder John Guyot. And it's a high fly ball to center. Floating under it and making the catch is Hugo Gonzalez.
Strike 3, you're out.
And strike 3 to Mike Strang. 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the first. Jim Leahy steps up to lead off the top of the second. In 204 at-bats this season, he's crafted a .309 average, 18 home runs, 58 RBIs, and an OPS of 1.053. Brett Gilbert. The 2-2 pitch struck out swinging with a fastball, clocking in at 95 miles an hour. Brett Gilbert still showing signs of life for that Chicago Pitbulls side. Chris Hubert out on the 1-2 pitch with another fastball, 97 on the clock. And Jose Torres up to bat. And he goes down swinging on a slider, and that ends the top of the second. The Speeders are blanked again. David Herbst in the box, batting from the left side. And he swats this one to center left. This will drop in, fair for a base hit, and stretching it out to a double. Herbst trots into second with a stand-up double. Jorge Soto up to the plate with 1 on, none out. He goes down on a 1-2 pitch. Herbst Catley rocking those sliders. 3 strikeouts so far this game. George Hubbard up to the plate. Grounder to short, and that's an easy play for Lopez to field. Herb stays pat at second base. Guadalupe Gill, the catcher. And taps this one a short, and another 6-3 ground out to end the inning. Gill leaves one aboard as we go into the bottom of the second here in Chicago. Brett Gilbert on the mound, striking out Ron Osborne. Strikeout number 83 so far this season. Nicky Pepin up to bat on the left side, the second baseman, against the right-handed Brett Gilbert.
Strike three, you're out.
And he goes down swinging on a fastball on the 1-2 pitch. Bottom of the order now for Nevada, Dave Lopez. And he drives this one to left. This is falling in for a fair ball. And Lopez has a single. That'll improve his average to .371 this season. Lopez, a threat to steal from first, but maybe not with two out. Glenn Bedard up to the plate. And a high fly ball to left, floating under it is Strang, and that will retire the side. So both teams have stranded a runner in the second inning. And we'll check the out-of-town scoreboard. Top of the fifth in Detroit with Arizona leading 5-2. Alan Eismo has just hit a solo home run. Rimouski up on St. Petersburg 4-2. 3 runs scoring in that top of the fifth inning. The bottom of the fourth, we have Montreal leading the Norfolk Sharks 6-2. Jose Ramirez singling to score Garza in the bottom of the fourth inning. 4-2 is the score for Miami over Toronto. Scoreless in the Dallas-New York matchup. Ohio and Calgary. Calgary's got a 6-1 lead over the Oxen. And 3-2 lead for Seattle over Minneapolis. Denver and Boston go ahead at 9:05 tonight, and California-Louisville goes ahead at 10:05. Carlos Lovato to lead it off here in the bottom of the third. The throw to first on that ground out to third base. That will retire Lovato. Jason McGeehan, shortstop. 2-1 pitch with one out. Drives us down the right field line, but getting it in time is Huber, and that is out number 2. Weston Pete back to the top of the Chicago order. And he goes down, swing and a miss on the 3-2 pitch. 3 up, 3 down for the Pitbulls as we go to the top of the fourth. Troy Catley having a wonderful game so far. 4 strikeouts, 1 hit. Brett Gilbert, similarly a great game. 7 strikeouts, just the 1 hit allowed after 3 innings. Hugo Gonzalez, number 2 in the Nevada Speeders order. He'll lead it off here in the 4th inning, and a ground ball that makes it out of the infield into left. Hit number 2 for the Nevada Speeders. Shitoji Yamada, deep fly ball to right. This will keep Gonzalez plugged to first. As Guyot makes the out. Jim Leahy, the designated hitter, and he goes down on the 1-2 pitch, swinging. A 74-mile-an-hour curveball. Leahy, experienced batter, fooled by that curveball. You know, it's what they say. It's soft. Go soft to the new players. Go hard to the old players, and that was a 95-mile-an-hour pitch that took him out. All right, Chris Huber, the right fielder, swats this one into left, and 2 are aboard now for the Nevada Speeders. As Brett Gilbert, 8 strikeouts, has allowed his 3rd hit. 2 out and 2 on for Jose Torres, who can do some damage. OPS of .834 this season. Swings and taps it down the first base line, but right to Carlos Lovato, who easily grabs it and touches the bag. And that will strand 2 runners for the Nevada Speeders. Chicago up to the plate. John Guillot leading it off. Made that fly ball catch in the last inning. And he taps this one into center field. The wind helping move that one sideways a little bit. And Guillot leads it off with a base hit. Mike Strang takes a walk. First walk of the game delivered to the Chicago left fielder. And with none out, Troy Catley has 2 visitors aboard the bases. David Herbst singling in that second inning. And he swats this one down hard to third, but going for the double play is Nevada. They've got a 5-4-3 double play as they take out 2 runners. John Guillot advances to third on the double play. But with 2 away, George Soto now batting 182 this season. Let's see what he can do. And this one gets out of the infield. That'll drive a run in. Guillot safe at home as both Torres and Lopez went diving for that one. Finally played by Yamada. And Soto aboard with a RBI single. Chicago first on the board here in the bottom of the 4th. Hubbard with a ground ball to third base. That's played over to second for the force, and that'll retire the side. But Chicago gets one run on the scoreboard ahead of the first place Nevada Speeders. Ron Osborne cranking this one deep to right, and this one is history. 343 feet is the tail of the tape on Ron Osborne's solo shot to right, landing somewhere in the bullpen. And Brett Gilbert has given up his first run of the game. We now have a tie ball game here in the top of the 5th. Mickey Pepin goes down swinging. Gilbert registering strikeout number 9. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. David Lopez grounder to second, hit hard, but easily played. Hubbard's right there to play it to Lobato. Glenn Bedard with the base, with the grounder to short, and that will retire the side, but the Speeders tie it up here in the top of the 5th. 1-1 as we move to the bottom of the 5th. And we'll check those out-of-town scores again. Let's see, it's 5-2 still for Arizona and Detroit. St. Petersburg has taken the lead against Rimouski. They've had a big 4-run 6th inning. They now lead 6-5. Montreal and Norfolk, the Metros also leading 6-5 over the Sharks. Still 4-2 for Miami in the Toronto-Miami Storm match. Bottom of the 7th, Ohio is 5 runs behind Calgary as they lead 7-2. Dallas Deputies are leading New York 4-2. The New York Dragons have been on a terrible run the last few games. And the Minneapolis Ravens are leading the Seattle Salts 7-3. Former AEL rivals. Minneapolis, of course, was previously the Jacksonville Ravens. And then it's the bottom of the 1st for Boston as they play in Denver, and they've already got 3 runs on the board. With no out, Denver's got 2 on and trying to even the score. Louisville, California, that'll go ahead tonight at 10:05. And we're back in Chicago as Guadalupe Gill leads it off for us here in the bottom of the 5th. And he's got a fly out to Yamato over at left. Hanging fly ball. Carlos Lovato, the first baseman. Soft grounder to short. Lopez is there to make the play. Jason McGeehan up to the plate. And the shortstop goes down with strike 3. A 1-2 pitch. 93-mile-an-hour fastball at the knees. Troy Catley registers strikeout number 5. so far in the game. Brett Gilbert having an incredible outing, just with no run support throughout the year. That's resulted in his 3-9 season. He's allowed 100 hits, 49 earned runs, for an ERA of 4.74. He's doing quite well today. Just allowed 1 earned run and 4 hits, no walks, and so far 9 strikeouts in 5.0 innings. Hugo Gonzalez leading it off for the Nevada Speeders. 1 for 2 today. And he taps an infield fly, and this is caught by Hubbard. Toji Yamada, the international free agent signing, and left fielder, up to the plate, and he goes down swinging on a fastball. Gilbert, 10 strikeouts today. He's thrown 75 pitches. Jim Leahy up to the plate, and swing and a miss. He goes down on, I believe that's Leahy's 3rd strikeout of the game. 0 for 3. At any rate. Troy Catley back on the mound for Nevada, the bottom of the 6th. He's having a phenomenal game as well, despite giving up the 1 run. He's only allowed 3 hits and a walk for 5 innings, and he's averaged a strikeout an inning. Weston Pete will be strikeout number 6 on the 1-2 pitch from Catley. Guillot up to the plate, 1 away. And Guillot cranks this one to left. It'll drop in for a base hit as Yamada corrals it in the corner. And with 1 out, Chicago has 1 aboard again. They've tied Nevada in hits, 4 and 4. There goes the runner, and Guillot is out at second. Osborne with a bullet of a throw to second base, fielded cleanly by Pepin, and that is 1 caught stealing registered. Guillot is out. 2 away now in the bottom of the 6th. Mike Strang up to the plate. Cranks this one down the line, but grabbing it right away is Bedard, and that will end the inning. So Chicago fritters away an opportunity with 1 out, and the meat of their order coming up as Guillot is caught stealing. Chris Huber to lead it off for Nevada in the top of the 7th. Brett Gilbert still on the mound for Chicago. And popped up, getting under it looks like the first baseman. Lovato fields it. No, Hubbard makes the grab. And that is Huber retired. Jose Torres up to the plate, now the left-handed batter. And he goes down on a called 3rd strike. 12 strikeouts for Brett Gilbert. Boy, what a game he's having. He's throwing heat, and he's just really fooling those Nevada batters. Ron Osborne cranks this one to right, and this one might be another one gone. Yes, 2 home runs for Ron Osborne, 357 feet, and that'll put the Nevada Speeders ahead 2-1. Osborne having a big day today. Nicky Pepin up to the plate with 2 away. Grounder to second, and the throw made to first. Lovato makes the out, and it's stretch time here in the 7th inning. All right. And now that the stretch is over, we'll check the out-of-town scoreboard once again. 5-4 in Detroit for the Arizona Cowboys. St. Pete's is now behind the Rimouski Fighting Moose. 7-6, but they've got bases loaded in the bottom of the 7th with 2 out. Chris Pratt up to the plate. He's already homered today. Bottom of the 7th in Montreal, Norfolk ahead 7-6. It's been a close race there. Montreal had the lead till the 5th inning. Toronto, Miami still 4-2. Craig Brunori pitching for the Miami Storm. Brock Dietz trying to get something rolling in the top of the 9th with 2 out. He's homered today. 1-for-3 day for Brock Dietz. Over in Ohio, the Calgary Inferno still running a batting clinic on the Ohio Oxen, and Takahide Higuchi having a pretty fantastic game. Only allowed 3 runs, 7 strikeouts in 7 1/3 innings. 8-3 is the score there for Calgary. Bubble Smith has doubled home Mizuguchi and Rodriguez in the Minneapolis-Seattle game. Seattle getting 2 more runs on the board to cut the lead down. It's 8-5 for the Minneapolis Ravens. Over in Denver, the Boston Brawlers still ahead, but Denver's on the board now with a run, so it's 3-1 in the top of the 3rd. And finally, the Louisville, California game is underway. Nobody cares because there's no human GMs, but the score is 0-0. Still in the top of the 1st with the first batter up to the plate. And we'll check back with the out-of-town scores briefly in the next inning. David Herbst, 1-for-2 today, 316 on the season. He'll be leading it off for Chicago here in the bottom of the 7th. Troy Catley still on the mound, having a pretty darn good night. After 78 pitches, he's got 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 4 hits allowed, along with that 1 earned run. And looking forward to hopefully notching his 5th win of the season if he's able to keep Chicago off the scoreboard until the bullpen's ready. Pop fly for David Herbst, and fielding it is Mickey Pepin. 1 away for Chicago. Jorge Soto up to the plate, and he'll knock this one weakly down the third base line. Torres fielding it cleanly to Bedard. And George Hubbard with an infield pop-up to end the inning. So 3 up, 3 down for the Chicago Pitbulls. The score remains 2-1 for Nevada. All right, Brett Gilbert still on the mound for Chicago. David Lopez, the shortstop for the Speeders. Lopez taps this one to short. McGeehan with the throw. And that's out number 1 registered. Glenn Bedard up to the plate, 0-for-3 today. Not had a very good game today. And this will be out number 4 for Glenn Bedard as he grounds out to first base. Hugo Gonzalez up to the plate, 1-for-3 is how he's been faring today. And he hits this one hard to third base, but Herbst is there to make the grab and throw it to first. 3 up, 3 down for the Nevada Speeders as we move to the middle of the 8th. And a final check of the out-of-town scoreboard before this game wraps up. 11-7 now for St. Pete's as they've stormed back in the bottom of the 7th inning. 5-run 7th inning for the St. Pete's Admirals. Top of the 7th now, Dao Ji Ling, 3-for-4 today with a double and a home run. He'll try to work some runs back for Rimouski. Brett Abruzzo on the mound for the St. Pete's Admirals. Arizona-Detroit, we've got Detroit ahead now, 6-5. They've scored a bunch of runs in the bottom of the 8th. Norfolk-Montreal are tied up at 7. The Dallas-New York game's 4-2 for Dallas. 8-4 for Calgary as both teams struggling to getting one-run frames in the last couple innings. I guess the Ohio Oxen with 4 runs and Calgary with 8. They're into the bottom of the 9th now as Ohio will try to stave off a defeat. Boston and Denver. Denver's clawed back another run, taken another run away from the Boston lead. It's 3-2 now for the Brawlers. Still scoreless in the Louisville, California match, which is only in the bottom of the first. Seattle, Minneapolis has finished, and that's 8-5 for the Ravens. And a final score for the Miami Storm, Toronto Nomads, 4-2 for the Miami Storm. Oriana getting the win. Matt Brock getting the loss, his 4th of the season. Brunori with the 2nd save. Dietz getting the home run for Toronto, while Miami's Gonzalez gets the home run for them, his 4th home run of the season. All right, back to action. Bottom of the 8th in Chicago. The Pit Bulls are sending Gill up again, 0 for 2. Catcher did gun down that runner back a couple innings ago. I believe it was it was the other catcher. Sorry, Ron Osborne threw out the Chicago catcher. Mixing my teams up here. Anyway, Gill goes down on strikes. That'll bring up the first baseman, Carlos Lovato, and he goes down on strikes. Catley really turning it up a notch here as he sees this lineup for the 3rd time. 8 strikeouts now for Troy Catley. The right-hander throwing heat, 98 miles an hour, his last pitch. Jason McGeehan up to the plate. And called 3rd strike on the 0-2 pitch. McGeehan was frozen by that 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and Catley registers strikeout number 9. 54 Ks on the season. What a game Catley is having. Tom Piercy now pitching for the Chicago Pit Bulls. Toji Yamada batting 3rd. He'll lead it off here in the top of the 9th. And we see some rain beginning to fall. Clouds have switched over to rain. And Piercy walks Yamada on the 3-1 pitch. That fastball registering too low. Yamada with the leadoff walk. Jim Leahy up to the plate, 0 for 3 today. But no out with a runner on against a new pitcher. And he grounds to 3rd base. That'll be a double play for Chicago. And right away, 2 out. Nevada's chances at increasing their lead slipping fast. Chris Hubert up to the plate now. And pitch misses with a slider. The rain has stopped. And the count is 2-1 with 2 out against Chris Hubert. And high fly ball deep to center. This one is over the fence. Chris Hubert delivers a 422-foot home run on the 2-1 pitch from Piercy. That will increase the lead to 3-1 for the Nevada Speeders. Jose Torres up to the plate. 2 out. A ground ball to short, and that will retire Nevada. Chicago looking to make up 2 runs here in the bottom of the 9th. They've got the right end of the lineup to do it. They're back to the top with Weston Pete. Batting .238 this season, but he does have a home run. He's driven in 5 runs. Shi-Min Chaim comes in to close it out for Nevada. And he strikes out Pete on 6 pitches. Pete has registered strikeout number 4 for the day. John Guyot, 2 for 3 today. And he'll try to get something going as the opportunities slowly fade away for Chicago here. And this one is cranked back, way back. This one is gone. Guyot with a solo home run off Shi Min Chaim, who gives up one of those runs, one of the 2 runs needed for Chicago to tie it. Still 1 out. Sean Pfeiffer coming in to hit in the 3rd spot, and he sends this one deep to center, but Gonzalez is there to make the catch. 2 away now. Chicago has cut the lead down to 3-2, and Oscar Barajas now coming in to hit. He'll try to get something going here and maybe tie this ball game. Barajas, powerful hitter against lefties. Shi Min Chaim, we'll see how this one goes, and swing and a miss on the 1-2 pitch. That will wrap up the game. Nevada ends the game with a 3-2 win. Chicago does not tie it up, and what a game! Phenomenal game there. And these 2 teams, age-old rivals from back when they played in the AEL East. Nevada, not surprisingly, coming out strong, but both teams had really good pitching today. And I think it's a testament to the Chicago organization, where they're down 17 to 36 in the standings, last place team, and they fought hard. They had some real good pitching out of Brett Gilbert, but Gilbert is tagged with the loss. He'll slide to 3-10 for the season. Troy Catley moves to 5-2 in the season after delivering a fantastic game. Shi Min Chaim with save number 8. But Gilbert, his effort not to be sold. 5 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, 12 strikeouts for Brett Gilbert, and he'll bring his ERA down to 4.68. What a phenomenal game! Both pitchers threw really, really well today. But it's the Nevada Speeders that take the match, and that's the ball game. Thanks again for watching. We're going to quick sim the rest of this particular sim, but we will do a Twitch broadcast on Sunday night for the Ohio-Calgary game. Dylan, I know if you're watching, you're going to be excited to see that one. And what a game that should be. We'll just check the scores again. Final scores will be posted to Slack, but St. Pete's has now doubled up their lead on Rimouski, 14-7 for the Admirals, and still an inning to go. Bottom of the 9th now for Montreal against Norfolk. They're still tied up 7 runs apiece. Minneapolis leading Seattle 8-5. Dallas with the lead over New York 6-2. We have final scores in Ohio. They've fallen 8-4 to Calgary. Detroit has demolished Arizona 10-6, and we have Denver falling, still behind Boston. Boston now adding to their lead in the top of the 5th. Guido Greenveld has doubled, and that scored Angel Payan, and Greenveld on second with 2 out. 4-2 is the score there. In California, the Louisville Sluggers are ahead by 1 run, bottom of the 2nd. And that's all we've got today. Thanks again for watching. And, of course, this stream will be available on our YouTube channel probably by the end of the night. And, yeah, fantastic. We'll do another Twitch stream, as I mentioned, Sunday night. And all this is warming us up for the big Twitch stream, which is next Tuesday night. The Bull League All-Star Game, the American Eagle League, will host the Lake League in Calgary, and the Calgary Stadium, the Inferno Park, looking phenomenal in the 3D renderings, and we hope to deliver a high-quality Twitch stream on Tuesday. You can all check out the 3D stadium then. Don't forget to subscribe to our Twitch streams, and so you get notified of all the latest ones. And of course, as always, we're going to plug our Patreon campaign, patreon.com/bullleague. That's where you can go to check out all the latest rewards for your financial pledges to help keep this beautiful league running. And what a beautiful league it is. Take care, and that's all we've got for you tonight.